Hello and welcome! My name is Heather. I'm a registered professional counselor and a certified life coach, and I've had my private practice for about 9 years. I'm also a huge fan of Gilmore Girls. If you're new here, thank you so much for being here. My intention behind these videos is not to psychoanalyze the characters, but to 1. Bring a deeper understanding of the characters by using therapeutic theories, and 2. Hopefully reduce the stigma around therapy and reaching out for counseling, as anyone can benefit from these services. If that's something you support, please subscribe to my channel and be a part of this community. Today, I'm going to be analyzing the episode where Rory and Jess meet for the first time. Let's get to the show. Hi, Junie. You want to join us today?
Hey.
Hey.
I'm Rory.
Yeah, I figured.
Nice to meet you.
Jess just moved into Luke's apartment and he's getting settled in to the best of his abilities. His mom, Liz, was apparently having troubles with Jess, and for some reason, she decided that shipping him off to Luke will help with his behavior. I think he was getting in trouble at school or hanging out with the wrong crowd, and Lorelai wanted to support Luke and thought that having a dinner at her place with Suki and Jackson will be a perfect opportunity for Jess to meet Rory and to help him adjust.
Wow, aren't we hooked on phonics?
Oh, I read a lot. Do you read?
Not much.
He probably has noticed that Rory has a similar taste in books and also has a love for reading, which we will also find that Jess has later on.
I could loan you that if you want. It's great.
No thanks.
But if you change your mind.
It's interesting to me that he's quite standoffish at this point, even though they clearly share an interest. I can understand why he would be guarded, considering he was forced to move to a small town against his will, and he's probably not in the mood to make any friends. And Rory is here being perfectly polite and welcoming to Jess. She probably knows a bit about why Jess is living with Luke. And I think it's great that she's trying to be nice and get to know him without judging his past, which sounds like it was a bit troubled.
Shall we?
Shall we what?
Bail.
No.
Why?
Because it's Tuesday night in Stars Hollow. There's nowhere to bail to.
Jess was there for less than a minute and already he wants to leave. It's nice that he invited Rory along. Maybe it's because he already likes her. He did mention in one of the later seasons that he knew from the moment they met that they belonged together. I mean, he could have just climbed out the window without her if he really wanted to leave.
So we'll walk around or sit on a bench and stare at our shoes?
He suggests walking around or sitting and staring at their shoes. I think it's pretty obvious that he doesn't want to be there at the dinner and at the town. He just wants to leave. I can't even begin to imagine how it feels to be forced to reroute yourself to a town where you don't know anyone, to live with a relative that you're not close with. Typically, if there's already a pattern of conduct disorder, which refers to a group of repetitive behavioral and emotional patterns, usually seen in children or teens, they have great difficulty following rules, respecting the rights of others, showing empathy, and behaving in socially acceptable ways. Not to say that Jess has conduct disorder. Obviously, I can't diagnose that. And obviously, this is the very first episode that we're seeing him. But typically, if there is a repetitive pattern with one's behavior, moving them to a strange place isn't going to change that or improve that. And we'll see that in later seasons with Jess.
Look, Suki just made a ton of really great food and I'm starving, and though it may not seem like it right at this moment, it's going to be fun. Trust me.
If I were in Jess's situation and I was forced to go to a dinner that I didn't want to go to, but Suki was cooking, I would stay and eat Suki's food. Give me a thumbs up if you would too.
I don't even know you.
Well, don't I look trustworthy?
Maybe.
Okay, good. Let's eat.
I think Jess is absolutely smitten with Rory. Do people still say smitten? I think he knows that he's met someone who's on a similar wavelength as him intellectually, and plus she's gorgeous, so it's easy to see how these feelings would have started. Next, he steals beer from the fridge and Lorelai catches him, and he basically says some crude things about her and Luke, and then he leaves. In the next scene, we're going to take a look at the next time Rory and Jess cross paths.
Hey,
Hey, yourself.
what are you doing out here?
I needed something for school. How about you?
Oh yeah, same thing.
No, he's not getting school supplies. He just stormed out of Luke's place, but I guess it doesn't sound cool to say that. Yeah, that's my laptop.
That was quite a disappearing act you pulled the other night.
Potlucks and Tupperware parties aren't really my thing.
Too cool for school, huh?
Yes, that is me.
Rory is still being polite, and she brought up his absence during dinner the other night. She doesn't seem mad at him for ditching suddenly, especially since Lorelai and Suki planned it for him. She's probably not that upset because that means that there's more food for her.
What are you doing?
Oh, this? Nothing. Just another little disappearing act.
Jess knows magic tricks. That is surprising. I wonder how he got into learning magic tricks. Maybe he thinks that it would help him impress girls? Or maybe he learned magic to try to stay out of trouble. But let's see how Rory reacts.
If you ever want to speak to me again, don't pull it out of my ear.
So I assume the nose is off limits too.
Any place you wouldn't naturally find a coin.
They have a really good connection. There's really good back and forth in their conversations. It's probably Jess's first real connection with someone at Stars Hollow, so that's nice to see.
Now I'll leave you this last little trick.
You bought a copy? I told you I'd lend you mine.
It is yours.
You stole my book.
No, borrowed it.
I tried watching the scene again to see if I could spot him actually take it, but I couldn't find it, and my guess is that he took it while he was leaving Rory's room and on his way to the fridge to get the beer.
That's not called a trick, that's called a felony.
I just want to put some notes in the margins for you.
What?
It is a felony, but he did return it. But then he did deface her property, which can also be a felony.
You've read this before.
About 40 times.
I thought you said you didn't read much.
Wow, what is much?
It turns out that Jess is also well-read and that he's put some notes in her book. This is an indicator that they have similar interests and that they are on the same intellectual level. So far, we haven't seen Rory and Dean share a moment like this. We have seen Dean try to read some of Rory's book recommendations, which is a good sign that he's willing to put in some effort. But this isn't something that comes naturally for Dean, as it does for Jess and Rory's dynamic.
Good night, Rory.
Good night, Dodger.
Dodger.
Are you Team Jess? Are you Team Jess? Yeah, I think you are.
Figure it out.
And we see another example of this when Rory references a book, Oliver Twist, and Jess was able to get the reference right away. Next week's episode, I'm going to take a closer look at Jess and Rory's relationship, so make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any scenes or relationships you'd like me to analyze, leave your suggestions in the comments below. In the meantime, check out my other therapist reviews videos of Gilmore Girls. Thank you so much for joining me again, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Until then, be kind and love yourself. Oh, big stretch.